Welcome to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Brian will be along shortly. I'm Mr. Producer, and I want to make sure that you are setting aside some of your profits from the season for continuing education, for investing back into yourself and your team. One way to do this is through the training courses, videos, and modules offered at lawentrepreneur.academy.com. When you visit the site, and I'll make sure that there's a link in the podcast description, what I would like for you to do is to click on the store link and take a look around. Make a note of what interests you or what you think the guys on your crew would benefit from. Then come back on Black Friday and Cyber Monday for our best deals of the year.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, today's podcast, I wanted to talk about a topic that has been on my mind for actually quite a while here, and it's a little bit different of a topic. Some of you guys have even probably heard people say this. Well, I guarantee that you've heard people say this. Maybe you've even said it yourself, and that's okay. We're going to talk a little bit about the mindset behind this phrase that you might hear sometimes in business. And frankly, for me personally, it's just a little bit of a rant. I know where people are coming on this topic, but at the end of the day, I think it might be a little misguided or maybe disingenuous. Or the reality is, like, sometimes people just lose touch of what actually makes a real business or what makes a good business great or a great business good. And the whole point of this is, I saw an Instagram reel, go figure, the other day, and fires me up thinking about these topics late night. And, it's so ironic here. Here's the critique, right? It's anybody with $500 or $1,000 can get a podcast, get a mixer, get things going and start popping up at the mouth about stuff that they think they know, or theory, or even maybe good business advice. And then sometimes some things get mixed in between and you're like, I don't know if I really agree with that, or actually that's totally wrong, or that's actually incorrect. But because they have a podcast or a video podcast, or, they have an Instagram or YouTube channel or a podcast on a podcasting platform, things get promoted, and sometimes people just believe that because it's accessible, or just believe that they know everything about business, they're allowed to talk about business. And frankly, more than half the time, most of these people are full of crap. They have no idea what they're talking about. They're not business people. They're not business gurus. They claim to be. But at the end of the day, most of that stuff is pretty shallow. Most of that stuff doesn't really hold any merit. And again, they're maybe more of a marketer than they are somebody with good business acumen. And so the statement I want to talk about today, or the topic I want to talk today, for just a short and sweet podcast episode, we're actually getting ready for Entrepreneur Academy Live in about 3 days. I've got tons of people coming on Thursday. I've got hundreds of people coming on Friday. We got hundreds and hundreds of people coming in Friday night for Saturday. So I don't have a ton of time here that I want to necessarily spend on the podcast episode today and even Friday. But I did want to just share a quick thought and still bring some value to you guys. 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Don't want to just mail it in or post it up or hang up the podcast for a couple of days just because we got a ton of going on this week. So that's kind of a good 1-2 punch to get this topic that's been on my mind, off my mind. And that is the conversation where somebody says, we are a marketing company that happens to have a product versus a product company that's really good at sales and marketing. So basically people say all the time, we're basically a sales and marketing company disguised as a product, versus being a really good quality product business that then has to sell and market your product or service. Work with me here. Give me a quick second. Give me some latitude. So there's brands out there, there's companies out there all the time that have a product or a service, and they got to get the word out. And sometimes they forget, or they don't realize how hard it is actually to sell and market a product or service. Maybe you're an engineer, you tinker something together, and you're like, dude, this is changing our business, changing the way people could do business, both for the customer, both for the business owner, XYZ, PDQ, pick your thing. And so they really good at making a product. And then they realize, hey, manufacturing, distribution, sales and marketing, social media, websites, branding, colors, logos, all this mess. Like, holy cow, I never even considered any of that. I just was trying to improve this widget 1%, 5%, or revolutionize a product. And that's where all their time, energy, and focus went into it. They're better at being a designer, a creative, an engineer, or whatever. And frankly, I love those people. They are the ones that move the needle of society forward, whether it's 1% or 100%, in terms of a reiteration of a product, or an evolution of a product, redesigning of a product, or just they literally disrupt and game change with an entirely different way of doing business with a product or service. Like, that's true innovation, right? But at the end of the day, those people are product focused people, and usually a product obsessive person is the real deal. Like, they might not have the best sales and marketing skills, or they may come short or fall short of being able to sell or market their product. But usually, at the end of the day, they are really, really good at building a world-class product. Now, here's the catch-22. If I was to ask you what's more important, a great quality product or a great sales and marketing strategy, which one would you pick? Most folks would pick a good sales and marketing strategy. So let's get into number 2, sales and marketing. Okay, so if you got, and this is a case study of case studies. I learned this forever back in marketing in high school. 20 years studying this stuff. This is my bread and butter. I love sales and marketing. And we've all heard say, like, the enemy to great is excellence, right? The enemy to great is excellence, because there's no such thing as a perfect product. Or I'm sorry, the enemy to good or great is perfection, right? You can never get perfection. You can only pursue excellence. And there's people all day, engineers, and like I just said, the product folks that spend all day long. It's the perfect product. It's amazing. It solves everything, just short of cancer, right? That kind of a deal. And any sales and marketing guy will say, look, is it better? Yes. Is it good enough or better enough than what the competition is doing? Yes. Is it even or status quo, but we can sell it a little bit different and add perceived value to it? A lot of people will say yes. So the sales and marketing person says, product is good, but sales and marketing is better. And totally, there's a lot of merit to that. There's a ton of merit to that. And usually that's where you've seen the last 5, 10, 20 years of sales and marketing, and really the last 3 to 5 years of social media marketing. Everybody's a guru. Everybody's got something to say. Everybody thinks they're incredibly intelligent. Everybody thinks they're incredibly wise. Frankly, I don't care. I'm not in competition with a single person. God bless all of them. Right? As somebody who puts out a lot of content, and I've never professed to be a guru, I've never professed to be a thought leader, I've never professed to be a business leader or an influencer or somebody with the inside scoop or disruptor or changing the game. I've never even half the dang time said I was original, because I'm not. I've borrowed from every great person I've ever consumed content from. I'm an accumulator of content. I'm an accumulator of thought process. And all I've done is kind of distilled it and culminated it and made it my own. And what works for me with my personality type, with my communication style, with my organization skills, with my time commitment, with my financial resources, right? And that's what I've done. I've churned out my lawn and landscape company and our little social media business. At the end of the day, sales and marketing is incredibly important. And I will put that statement toe to toe with almost anybody out there, that it is incredibly important, marketing and branding. But what's really frustrated me the last couple of years is that you go from one ditch to the other, right? What is it called? The spectrum or the pendulum. The pendulum has swung so far, and you might have even said this lately, or seen people say this, or maybe people close to you or people that you listen to have said lately that you've got to be great at sales and marketing over everything, and sales and marketing or die. And frankly, we're a sales and marketing company disguised as a fertilizer business. Or we're a sales and marketing company disguised as a lawnmower business. Or we're a sales and marketing company disguised as a social media business. Or we're a sales and marketing company disguised as a social media influencer. Or we're whatever, folks. And that really doesn't sit well with me. It's disingenuous. It's focusing on something that, although is incredibly important, and I'm not saying the pendulum has to swing all the way back to a great product or service, but what I will just give a quick little warning, heed some warning, whatever the statement is, heed the warning, is that if you say stuff like that, or you listen to somebody who says stuff like that, I get where they're coming from, but what they might forget or have forgotten is that at the end of the day, you do have to have a great freaking product or a great freaking service. Like, let me give you, for instance, you're a sales and marketing company disguised as somebody who sells mowers, and maybe they're orange, and maybe all the girls are wearing blue jeans and they're all blondes, and they sponsor NASCAR type stuff. And I'm not throwing any one brand under the bus, but that's all I've heard them literally say it from their mouth. That's what we are. And I'm not going to give that name of that brand out. Couldn't care less if we did or didn't. And I'm sure they're great folks there. But at the end of the day, and great product, and actually they do make some decent product. But at the end of the day, we're a sales and marketing company that just happens to sell mowers. We're a sales and marketing company that happens to fertilize lawns, maybe for $19.95 for your first app. You know, Alan Hain and I might have some shared history with maybe that company we both used to work for. If you guys can breathe through those lines, right? Like at the end of the day, people are like, "Oh no, we're a sales and marketing company." Yeah, but what you have to realize is that it still has to be backed up with a great product or service. And again, I don't want to beat a dead horse here. I don't think I need to belittle the point or beat a dead horse or whatever the statement is. But for some of the folks that are out there, maybe you're newer in business and you're like, man, it's all sales, because this is what you've grown up on, right? Maybe you're 23 years old, 27 years old. And all you've heard for the last 5 or 7 or 10 years is it's all sales and marketing, man. It's all every college in America, from entrepreneurship to getting your MBA to whatever. It's all sales and marketing. I will just tell you, let me ask you this. All the best companies in the world, what do they all have in common? A good sales and marketing team or a world-class product or service? For real, think about it. And I'm not here to play chicken or the egg, but let's distill some things down. If I said the names of these kind of companies, what do you think about first? Sales and marketing or a product? If I said Apple, Tesla, Coca-Cola, if I said NordVPN, if I said Canon or Sony, or if I said Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren, if I said Hublot, Breitling, even Rolex, if I said Richard Mille or Audemars, if I said, Fashion Week, and I don't know anything about Fashion Week, but if I said, probably not my best strength here, you know what I'm saying? But if I said London Fashion Week, or if I said Paris Fashion Week, are you thinking, boy, that was really well sales and marketed to me? Or are you thinking, dude, that is a world-class product or service? I'm not here to prove a point. I am here to prove a point. I'm not here to convince you, I should say. But at the end of the day, when you think Ferrari, maybe Ferrari does have a really good, world-class, amazing, hey, we're a sales and marketing company. Maybe they're really good at sales and marketing, and maybe they're really good at print and photo and video and social media and memes and infographics and telling a story. Absolutely. But when you really distill it down, what do they really, really, really have? Like at their core root business, what is it all based on, product or service wise? Right? It's based on the product of a Ferrari, the elegance, the level of craftsmanship, the quality. I don't care if you're a Lamborghini guy or you're a Bentley guy or you're a Aston Martin guy or a McLaren guy or you're just a Hellcat Charger guy for 80 grand, 90 grand, 100 grand, whatever. Awesome. But what all these companies have, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Vernors, 7-Up, whatever, like the brands that they're all world-class products and or service. Hyatt, Ritz-Carlton, Four Seasons, Ritz-Carlton Collection, Yacht Edition, Yacht Collection. It's all great sales and marketing. Absolutely world-class sales and marketing, but great product and service first. So here's my point. Again, told you to be a short and sweet episode. When you're out there growing your company, sales and marketing is absolutely critical. It is the chicken or the egg. They both go hand in hand. Both hands, one hand wash each other. They both wash the face. The pendulum swings from left to right. There are 2 oars in a water, left a row, right row, oar, right? Like you have to row them in sequence. Great sales and marketing with great product as well, or great service as well. And I just heed the warning, just a news flash, just an update, just a refresher, just a remind. That's what we do at the podcast. I'm not here to pontificate. I'm not here to, reinvent the wheel, but I just want to bring it top of mind that all the best companies in the world, and even the best lawn and landscape companies, right? The Almonds, the Suttons, the Mulders, the J Squared Outdoors, the Lucas Lagoons, pick your brand, pick your company. what are they all showing on social media? The amazing product, the amazing service, the amazing maintenance, the amazing landscape, the amazing outdoor living space, the amazing hardscape install. They're world-class at sales and marketing, yes, but they have a world-class product, right? At the end of the day, if anybody that you're listening to says, we're just a sales and marketing company disguised as a product company, my guess is that the product is probably less than stellar, less than excellent, less than great, and they're making up for it with good sales and marketing. And you can do that. But if you think Exmark, you think legendary build quality. If you think certain other brands, like maybe Ed Wright, who beats the snot out of his mowers on video himself and says, well, didn't expect that to happen, and then he fixes it. Or Elon Musk, throws the ball bearing at the window and goes, didn't expect that to happen, goes back and fix it and makes the whole thing, stainless steel, armored, bulletproof, whatever it is with the Cybertruck. World-class product. Now, world-class sales and marketing too. But if they took the sales and marketing away, which by the way, sales and marketing for Tesla, their marketing budget is $0. Zero. Think about that. How much product do you think they're moving? Billions, tens of billions, probably hundreds of billions for all I know. $0 of advertising and marketing. If there's not a better case study about why you need to have a world-class, disrupting, amazing product or service, and it will do your sales and marketing for you, then I don't know what else to tell you, right? Like Ford and Chevy, and some of you guys know this, but inside baseball, if you're in automotive world, you've heard this before, but if for every Silverado that's $55,000, they spend like $2,500 to $5,000 plus dollars selling and marketing to you to go buy a Chevy Silverado. And every truck brand for that matter, and every vehicle and every car. There's like I don't know the number, but there's some kind of churn and burn rate to be able to sell a vehicle. And Tesla spends $0. $0. And Chevy last year spent probably $1 billion in sales and marketing. Let's, whatever, 50 million, 100 million, 500 million, whatever the number is, way more than what Tesla did. Why? World-class product. Nobody's got to convince you to buy a Cybertruck. Everybody's got to convince you to buy a Chevy Silverado. And that's been that way for a long time. It's a really crappy truck. That's a little dig from my Chevy listeners. Relax. Catch the point, though. Is that making sense, guys? How does that relate to our lawn and landscape business? I always like to keep it personal, keep it relatable. You have a company, and yes, we talk extensively a lot on this podcast about having world-class marketing and branding and sales and updating this and updating that, Google listings and reviews and websites and colors and branding and fonts, because that is incredibly important. Because for me, for a long time, that was the differentiator in my business. We were able to get the phone call, get the lead, make the connection. But whether folks don't give us enough credit, or we haven't communicated this well or effectively or not, what we are doing with our company is we do deliver on what we promise, what we promote, what we sell. And frankly, whether we promote, advertise, or market, or spend money or not spend money to do, irregardless, if somebody just walks up to the truck and trailer and they still walk up and they sign up for service, we still deliver, because it always reverts back to having a world-class product, a world-class service. That engineer that is so believes in what he does. Now, if he only exclusively believes in his product or widget and does not know how to sell and market or distribute, then he is going to run into trouble long term. There's millions of dead bodies of genius products or services that have never made it to market or never caught on, never got to Shark Tank, never did crowdfunding, never did a crowdsourcing, and never got to market. Millions of great products and services. So again, you do have to be really good at sales and marketing. It's 2 oars in the water. But the last thing, and not to beat a dead horse, but just to remind, just to refresh, you do have to mow the lawns. You do have to do the leaf cleanups. You do have to plow the snow. And you have to be good at it. You have to be efficient at it. You have to be productive at it. The best that do that, let me rephrase that. The best ones that do the best at delivering on that product, that service, that promise are the ones that not only are going to get the business, keep the business, be able to grow their business. Right. So it has been frustrating lately. I heard when your mind fixates on one thing, it starts pulling more of all those examples out there. And I heard it once about 2-3 weeks ago on a YouTube video. Then I heard it on an interview. Then I saw, a YouTube short or something like that. Then I saw it again recently on an Instagram reel. The same people saying, you know what? We're a sales and marketing company that sells solar. We're a sales and marketing company that sells roofing. And look at everybody's a guru. and everybody's got an agenda, and everybody's trying to probably sell you or convince you on something. Again, my MO is always to sell and convince you on you. I don't care if you buy anything from us. We don't do it for any of that stuff. Seriously, if you really, really, really know us and why we do, I mean, the amount of stuff that we don't even monetize or just give away, I couldn't care less. Seriously, that's the point. But you have, just a quick reminder, you have to have a great product. And you don't need the nicest trucks, the nicest rigs, the nicest plows to be able to do that. It always helps. It always helps. I like new trucks and new plows. They're a lot better than old trucks and old plows. But no matter what, if you say, hey, it's all about sales and marketing, we just got to outmarket the next guy, then explain it to me when you find the guy that looks like the crackhead but does an amazing outdoor living space and why he's getting all the work and all the referrals around town. And he's out beating you with your shiny, flashy, new trucks, postcard marketing, and website, images and your website presentation. Because that dude does not need to sell or convince or market that he does a good job. You know why? Because the product, his outdoor living spaces, his lawns, his shrub pruning, right? Those are all speaking for him. I said recently on a podcast interview with Paul Jameson, it was a really, really good reel. It was very insightful. Amazing. Nobody really followed up with it or asked more questions about it. But he said, Fullerton, how are you finding good people to help grow your team? And I said, A, talent reveals itself. B and C talent is out marketing to you. By the way, I'm marketing my business all the time. I don't consider us B or C talent. I consider us A talent, but we still are trying to get more book of business, right? We're in the growth mode of our company. So, don't throw the apple or the baby out with the bathwater. But at the end of the day, where are we finding good talent? Well, good talent is always around you. It's easily recognized. A talent isn't necessarily out marketing itself. It probably should, probably is, sort of spends a little bit just to stay top of mind, stay relevant, right? But really the marketing is coming from the B and maybe even the C guys. And that's okay. I'm marketing, by the way. You guys are marketing, most likely. If not, we all should be. But the goal is eventually to have such a full book of business that you don't need the market because your product speaks for itself. You're like, look, dude, I'm booked out for 3 weeks, 6 months, 2 years. Lucas Lagoons, I love the dude. I need to do a podcast interview with him. Anybody got to hook up with Lucas? Tell him I said, hey, I just find his reels all the time, and I'm just mesmerized at the work he does. The dude I hope he's a nice guy. I mean, he looks legendary, on Instagram and YouTube. He's done amazing stuff. I mean, I think he was on TV and all this mess. Love to hear his story, like the actual, full 30, 45 minute podcast story if I ever get a chance to interview him. But that dude's product, that he's not sending out postcards to drum up business, right? So besides Tesla, let's personalize it to our industry. You think Lucas Lagoons, by the way, could be an axe murderer for all I know. I don't think so. But hey, Lucas, if you listen to this, apologies. But he is not marketing his business, right? He's got a website. He's got to submit, contact us form. But he doesn't have to go, trying to market his company. Why? Because his product speaks for itself. So, okay, that's it. I'm not going to belittle it or belate a point or whatever the statement is. I'm not a wordsmith here. I just want to say, if you hear people say, oh, we're a world-class sales and marketing company, or we're a world-class marketing company, and who cares what the product is? We'll sell anything. We can sell ice to Eskimos. Well, maybe, but if you have really, really crummy ice and somebody has really, really good ice, the guy with really, really good ice long-term is still going to outbeat you. Period, case closed. It does come back to delivering on your product, delivering on your service, delivering on your promise, whatever you communicated to the customer. So please don't forget that. I see guys all the time pop and drop. Hey, we're here today, $3, $4, $5 million, $1 million companies in 3, 4, 5 years, right? Where are they at 3, 4, 5 years later? Gone, out of business. They sold you a course. They sold you a program. They sold you a contract. They sold you a mastermind. They sold you a membership. They'll sell you anything. But where are they at? Oh, Fullerton, your business isn't the biggest and blah, 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 blah. No, duh. That's exactly where we want it to be. But we've also been doing this for 17 years. Not 17 minutes, not 17 months. We didn't get famous on TikTok and then decided to tell the whole world how we're doing. We grew to a decent little sized business, a successful enough company, and then told the world about what we're doing along the way to grow. And that's what got us followers on social media. Okay, so anybody who's, walked into some fame lately in the last 3 years because of TikTok, good old TikTok, or YouTube, or Instagram, pathetic. Nobody cares. Go do some work. Put in real work to grow a real business. Nobody cares about your efforts on social media in terms of TikTok or Instagram followers. It's pointless. You're really good at sales and marketing. Where's your product? Oh, that's right. Very, very shallow. Probably no breath there. Nobody cares long term. Enjoy your season of hotness. Enjoy your season of fame. Enjoy your 15 minutes, as they say. We'll all be here and see who is left once the dust settles. Okay. Nobody mind when I make statements like that. Literally just talking out loud. The nonsense and the noise that I see on social media is deafening. And I just want to kind of cut through the mustard here to help you guys stay authentic, stay true north to what you guys are trying to do with your lawn landscape business. That's what I got. 2 oars in the water, great sales and marketing, but you have to back it up with a great product or service and make sure you deliver on that promise to your customers. All right. That's what I got for you guys today. Have a beautiful day. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you so much for this, for the time to rant to you guys. If you guys are enjoying the show at any length or at any time or any episodes ever helped you guys out, do us a big solid, hit that big 5 stars, leave us a couple sentences, rating, review. Let me know how we're doing. Really appreciate that. All right. Over now, guys. Appreciate you as always. Have a great rest of the day. We'll see you here on Friday and see so many of you here in Novi, Michigan at Entrepreneur Academy Live 2023. Get ready. All right. Have a great day, guys. We'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.
Ratings and reviews. Each week, we take a minute to highlight your guys' reviews of the show.
Well, it has sure been a while since I got off my lazy butt and read some reviews. Hey, it's Marty, Brian's podcast producer. Let's pull up our first 5-star review. This one comes from Joseph R. He's with Briarwood Lawn and Landscape. He titles his review, Best Green Industry Podcast to Listen to. Brian shoots it straight with tons of helpful information mixed in with great guests of all ages and business sizes. The information and personal applications in every episode are so valuable, and I love the longer episodes as well. Every Element Landscape titles his review Awesome Info. I've been listening to the podcast religiously since I've started my business in March, and it has helped me to have the right mindset and learn my worth and maximizing profitability and customer satisfaction. Awesome podcast. Again, Every Element via Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much. And our final review comes from Totter's Turf. Here's what he writes. Best investment anyone in the industry can make. Most definitely the best investment I've made into myself. Thank you, Brian. What about you? Would you take time and write a review today, drop 5 stars, and do us another favor? Tell somebody else about the show.
Want us to read your review next? Let us know how we're doing, and we might just read your review on next week's show.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.